Isn't it crazy how these like box stores think that, you know, anybody who's overweight is automatically like 5'5"?
Everyone's got the same proportions, or at least like they don't scale them up. Or maybe it's like the same proportion from like medium to small, like small, medium, large. They just like one up each time.
Everybody's like 5'6",
but the arms aren't
you
long
just get
enough.
bigger in the middle. That's it.
Yeah.
I hope she made it.
Oh shit.
We can get started.
We got the last of that stuff too, so we're in it. Welcome to the Formerly Known As Podcast.
Oh. Hello. We started. Who's the gentleman this week?
That guy.
Wait. He's pointing at nothing. Hi, everybody. Welcome to.
Dude, it's different on everyone's screen. Big dog. It's that guy I want everyone else to see.
He's up there.
Welcome to FKA the Pod this week. I'm Seth. I don't know if I'm the host or a co-host or a producer, but I'm also joined by two other people on mics, hot mics this week. One of them is Trent Tatum.
Hello.
And one of them is Reed Wilson.
This guy. Hello.
Talking about two thumbs. How are you guys doing this evening?
I'm doing good, Steve. I'm ready to win some cash money.
I'm doing fantastic.
Is that what we're doing today?
No, I don't have any cash money to give you, unfortunately.
Oh, well.
But what if the real prize was the friendship we made along the way, huh?
I can't return that. I'd rather have like a.
Hey, well, I'll tell you what. This friendship so far, guys. This friendship so far, guys. I didn't tell you this before we started the episode. This friendship so far has lasted us at least 250 podcast episodes, plus time before that as well. That's pretty cool, right? That's pretty cool.
We should be coming around to like for a 4-year anniversary of the show.
Oh yeah,
sometime
for sure. Yeah,
either this time
250 episodes, 4 years. That's averaging well over a podcast a week.
Yeah,
because we do 2 a week now.
Yeah, that's true.
We did 2 a week before too, but in a different format. But before that, we did 1 a week. We've really mixed it up. We've changed our marketing a couple times.
Oh yeah,
we're an evolving pod.
Always changing, always growing. You know, always very competitive.
We are, fighting tooth and nail to keep up with the competition, and that's why we are, neck and neck with Joe Rogan in terms of.
Yeah, he might have signed a new contract, but that doesn't scare us.
Our studio is just taking a little longer to build. Why did I say that weird?
Build. We're building our studio.
My bad. Yeah, no, our studio is taking a little longer than we expected to build, but it's on the way.
It is. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. It's taken a little while to build because all of our like employees and the people building the studio, they're always like on mushrooms and drinking mushroom coffee and ayahuasca and stuff. So
they don't have enough on it alpha brain in their system.
It's negatively impacted our physical productivity, but it's increased our creativity.
Yeah, they don't do enough gorilla shaped kettlebell swings to keep in shape to keep building that stuff.
Yeah. So, are you guys drinking anything besides obviously your On It Alpha Brain mushroom powered coffee ayahuasca juice?
That's right. I got that right here, but we're not here to talk about that. It looks like water, but it's
Nalgene's up. We're an Nalgene pod. Stanley cups are eat shit, and they got lead in them.
That's right.
We talked about the lead in them before. I think we were on that before them, so. Fuck them.
This used to be an Asiago cheese sticker from like a cheese shaker at an Italian restaurant.
Shaker hardly know her, but I also got a Jaeger, a little shooter, a Jaeger. It's it's like 1.5 shots. It's like kind of big, so
it is kind of big.
I'll save the other one for another time because I also got a little something.
Little something.
Yeah, from Lagunitas. You guys want to guess over under 6.9% alcohol?
I'm thinking it's over because that would make it 7%. And that feels like a good number.
Yes.
Obviously not as good as 6.9 though.
Yeah, 6.9 feels awfully specific, but that's a good number. You know, multiply that by 10, you're at 69%. You know,
Nice.
It's perfect. Yeah.
No, it's 7.
I'm gonna say it's 6.8. Oh, you said 6.5.
It's 7.5.
Oh,
the other one they have is at 6.9.
Yeah,
Nice.
With Woodstock though, so -1.
I also have a drink this week. I don't know if I've talked about it on the pod before,
Is that a Negroni
but I made it super
Macchiato?
quick. No, it's a Ferrari. Have
Oh,
I told you what a Ferrari is?
I think you talked
we
about
might have talked about this like last week.
It sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's a Ferrari. It's half Fernet, half Campari. All right.
I still
think
don't know.
it's a
I
master
still don't know what Fernet is.
It's like Jaeger, but mouthwash.
I also can I put a little. I was talking to my my girlfriend Jill. Somebody ring the bell. Ding ding ding. We just talk about her a lot. I was talking to her father over Christmas, and he had a bottle of Fernet, and I was like, "Oh, Fernet, I've heard of that." And he said, "Oh, you mean Fernet?"
Oh,
Come on, dude. Come on, bro. You can't tell me a guy from New Jersey calls it Fernet.
hey man, they're
Let me tell you
cultured.
why.
They're hosting the the World Championship game for football World Cup next year.
Yeah,
So I don't
but
know.
if you're cultured, you say Fernet because then you can pun it up and you can say Fernet about it. You know what I'm saying?
Right? Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
Burnett's? Isn't
Northern New
Burnett's
Jersey.
also a thing?
Come on.
Burnett's has 2 T's though. Like that is
Okay.
supposed to be Burnett. I think. I don't know what Burnett's is though.
I think it's like another alcohol. But anyway, what do you got, Seth? You got some
I've got the Ryan
Yeah.
Stellhorn Memorial Fireball Cinnamon Whiskey Shot, and then I'm out of beers. And so what I'm drinking is this
Boom, boom.
Boom Boom. It's a Syrah from Washington State, Charles Smith Wines.
Get out of here, Josh.
Yeah,
Cool.
Yeah, I think we probably missed the boat on Josh.
We're drinking Chuck Smith right now.
We're in
Chucky Smith
Washington
Boom
State, man.
Where?
Yeah.
Forks.
Mattawa and Quincy, Washington, USA.
Cool. Never heard of it.
Never heard.
He's probably on the eastern side of the mountains. Nobody goes over there.
Probably.
Before we get off of the topic of drinks, though, I did recently try an Underberg. I guess we can cheers. Cheers, everybody.
I gotta drink the shot. I'll drink the shot. We'll drink the shot. Make a face, and you can talk about Underberg.
Have you guys? Well,
Hardly
you
know
can
her.
nod or shake your head. Nod or shake your head. Have you ever heard of an Underberg?
I hardly know Underberg.
No.
Okay, so an Underberg are those little tiny bottles that come with like paper wrapped around them, and they're usually like hung behind the bar at a dive bar. Do you know what I'm talking about? They used to have them at like Lusa
Yeah.
near the cash register and stuff.
It's an aperitif or a digestif.
Yeah.
Oui?
Yeah, one of those. I don't know. But anyways, I tried one for the first time like a week ago, and that shit fucking reeked. Dude, it sucked so bad. It was awful. It was like Fernet on steroids, and it made my eyes water how much it burned. Like
That must be
mouthwash.
why they wrap it in paper. So it's like not only is it sealed in the bottle, but it's also sealed in this paper bag. It looks like a joint. Kind of.
Yeah, it kind of does. Yeah. Yeah, those things. Underberg.
Underberg.
I've never been under. I hardly know Berg.
Yeah,
It's tough.
I've been there.
I knew a dude named Burke, but I was gonna knew Berg. So
No.
well, speaking of,
Okay.
let's get it out of the way. A little moment of silence, if you want, for the first concert artist I ever saw live in my life, Toby Keith, who died.
You saw Toby Keith live?
Yeah, it was the first concert I ever went to. I was like 10.
Yeah. Dude, I feel like that's probably the consensus for most people who grew up in America. Like, your first concert is probably gonna be country music.
Well, it was fire. He had that one song where it was like, "I'll stick a boot in your ass," and that was real. That was, was post 9/11, so it was pretty fire. You know, I was getting amped.
It's the American way.
Man.
Yeah, that's tough.
I was real nationalistic as a single-digit person.
That's funny.
Hell yeah.
I think, and I'm not 100% sure on this because this was the first concert I remember going to was Green Day. But I think the first concert I ever went to was Britney Spears.
Oh, nice.
Oh shit,
That's toxic, bro.
that's crazy.
Yeah. So, but anyway, yeah, Toby Keith died. I guess he was going through some stuff because I feel like he stopped touring, or he released a message recently.
He had
about
stomach
Yeah, he
cancer.
had stomach cancer.
Looked like shit. You know,
So-
did not take
Stomach cancer or him?
he did not look good. You know, the cancer
that's
definitely
tough.
made him look bad. Like as
but,
it's want to do.
being out on the lake, you know, after the past year and a half or whatever, it's never going to be the same. You know, Toby Keith, Jimmy Buffett, just tough year for driving around on a pontoon. But Toby Keith obviously had a lot of songs about the military and America.
Problematic.
But his older stuff, like Should Have Been a Cowboy, like is a great song.
Especially the live version. The live version way better than the regular one. Like he gets the audience into it and stuff. It's
Yeah.
much better. Also, like the one where he's like he's like talking to his like high school girlfriend or whatever, or like his high school girlfriend who blew him off. I just remember the music video. Like he's, you know, at a football stadium or whatever, and like his ex-girlfriend's got like in a marriage that sucks, like a husband that's never there. There's that one, and he's got that one song where they're cheating and about these two people cheating in Mexico, which is pretty fire. Stays in Mexico. That one's pretty gas.
Interesting.
It's about people from Sioux Falls going to Mexico and cheating on each other.
Yeah.
That's crazy, dude.
I Want to Talk About Me was like the first song I knew like 50% more of the words to. Oh yeah. And Beer from a Horse is Bad Movie Good karaoke song.
Yeah, damn. Holy, I forgot he created some of those.
Also did As Good As I Once Was.
I think similar to you,
Absolute
Reed.
banger.
Yeah, I think similar to you. One of those songs was like the first song that I knew the words to. That's crazy.
Yeah. Was the song you're talking about How Do You Like Me Now, Reed?
Yeah. That's a banger.
It's on a football field? Yeah, that's a great one too. So, anyway. I feel like he felt he kind of started falling off with Red Solo Cup. That's not actually a good song.
Terrible song. Garbage. Dude, he has one good album and it's like his best hits or album, and then everything he made after that is trash. Like once you make a best hits album, you gotta be done, big dog. You can't be making
You're not
more.
going to make a hit after that. You just can't.
The Red Solo Cup might be like your most popular song now, but it's terrible. It's like
It stinks.
it's so bad.
Yeah. If you think about the number of like college freshman guys who are playing beer pong, I don't know if that's like the number that you think it is. So maybe try a different audience.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sure,
he
right?
definitely found a target audience. It definitely was a very popular song.
Yeah, Americans.
Yeah, it's just not good. It's just not good.
God, dude.
I won't be the first one, but I definitely won't be the last one. Not a good song.
I did see, this is kind of a tangent. This was like a couple weeks ago. I saw it was a TikTok by noted musician, DJ personality Diplo,
Nice.
who was like on a hike in like Zimbabwe or something.
Okay, sure.
Or maybe he was in South America, or maybe he was in Asia. Like, I don't know where, but it was like somewhere that was like very distant.
Somewhere
from
foreign.
here.
It's foreign.
Yes, somewhere foreign. And he was on a hike, like on this mountain. That's why I think it might have been. Maybe it was like,
India, New Delhi.
what's the big one? The tallest mountain in Africa?
Kilimanjaro.
Kilimanjaro. It might have been Kilimanjaro. But anyway, he's on a hike and he comes up on these people, and they're like from Tanzania or whatever, and they're listening to Toby Keith out loud on their phone while they're on a hike. And he was just like, it's crazy how he's like, I never would have thought that like that would translate to like,
You're just getting down people, to the Taliban song.
It wasn't that. I think it was courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue or something.
Oh,
but
that's
anyway.
not equally as bad, but definitely in the same vein. Speaking of like, old jingoism coming back, the border's a problem again. I don't really know too much about it, but like the border's a thing now again out of nowhere.
Yeah. I think maybe it's I don't know anything about it too, so I'm just completely speculating. But I'm deciding for myself that it's probably just Republicans finally realizing that nobody gives a fuck about, or nobody's on their side, I guess, about abortion rights or trans kids. And so they're like, well, okay, let's go back to the tried and true.
Nah, it's the other way around, Trent. I said I didn't know anything about it. I know a smidge.
Okay. He knows more than you.
I know more than you. Yeah. Okay. Moron. But like, so they definitely don't want open borders, but they want some bullshit.
Who's they?
Thems. The Republicans. The Republicans and the Democrats are beefing
they're
right
actually,
now.
They're actually hims and hers.
Thems.
Not thems.
Yeah. Thems political folks in Washington, the scumbags in Washington who don't know what we want. They're just kind of revert. Like they put like bills forward, good vibes only, where it's like the Democrats now have like the closed border like shit in the bills, and the Republicans are saying no on it. But it's also like they both kind of suck, and they've all been the same kind of the whole time.
Yeah.
But like, whatever. Anyway, I just thought it was funny that we got all the more Islamophobia is coming back, and Toby Keith just died, and we got the open border shit. It's kind of like we were 3 years ago again, just like we were like 4 years ago with the Chiefs and the Patrick Mahomes facing the 49ers, and a transition off this topic to something else.
Yeah. Onto different celebrity news. Taylor Swift, I think she won an award, but she's also come under fire because she's flying that private jet everywhere. I mean, she probably took the private jet from like her house to the Grammys or whatever, like right down the street.
Sure.
She goes to Fred's.
Didn't even get off the ground. She just like took it on the interstate.
She drove it on the I-5 in Los Angeles.
Yeah, people were going crazy because she was wearing a watch around her neck, and people were like, the clock on her neck actually moved, and it's just like obviously just a repurposed like wristwatch that she wore around her neck. And I think she was promoting her.
Weird.
Yeah, it is weird, but it's fashion. I don't get it. I won't pretend to know. I'm wearing a hoodie, but.
Which you can see at youtube.com/FKA Podcast.
There you go.
And that apparently they released, she's promoting, or she's like hinting at a new Taylor's version album coming out. I don't know what this one is.
It's not a new Taylor's version album. It's a new album.
Oh, new album. Not even a Taylor's
Interesting. Not Taylor's version, so that she can bring it to the Taylor's version universe.
That's smart.
In 10 years.
Yeah, so she's releasing it non-Taylor's version so she can release it twice.
So she can be like, actually, I didn't like that one.
Yeah.
Here,
actually, I got ripped off on that one, is what I think.
Here, buy it again 10 years from now.
I think it's Reputation. That's the one that was supposed to be rumored to be TV next, which I didn't know that was the term. The TV,
yeah. So if you've ever been looking at the comments of like something online and people have been talking about Reputation TV, they're talking about Reputation Taylor's version. That's the lingo there.
I was thinking TV like it was a channel, like either like a Twitch thing or like an internet site or like a streaming service.
No, but the new album that she is releasing, I believe, is called The Tortured Poets Department.
Kind of a
cool. Very cool.
Kind of a what's the movie with Robin Williams? What's that called?
Dead Poet Society. Yeah, interpolation, kind of interpolation of that.
Sure. Yeah. Which I never saw that movie, but I did hear that, and I'm also stealing this joke from another podcast. So,
other podcasts don't exist.
No, yeah. They said, I heard that actually when she was doing research for this album, they actually she went to Guantanamo Bay and got waterboarded a couple times just so she could really get the torture part.
Oh, come on.
She strapped herself to a chair, had water drip on one specific spot of her forehead. She lay down over some bamboo. So I don't think she did the rat thing though, which is good. Fuck the rat thing. That's crazy.
Okay, yeah, we could stop talking about torture mechanisms now.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
But yeah, I don't know anything else about the Grammys. That's all I heard about it.
Well, I'll move us on to another Tennessee-related topic, also somewhat related to torture, like intimidation tactics. Mike Vrabel, former coach of the Tennessee Titans, he was a lot of people were thinking in the offseason, there's 8 openings that he'd go somewhere else and find a new job. He ended up not getting it. Some rumors coming out of the Senior Bowl game that happened this past week or something was that Mike Vrabel didn't get a lot of these jobs because he was just too big and intimidating. The front offices were scared of him, which I think is just hilarious. He's just too scary. He's too intimidating. So the GMs were scared, so they didn't hire him.
So do we know how big he is?
He's huge. He was a former linebacker, so he's pretty big.
Okay. So 6'6",
He's
280.
He's 6'4", it says, but that's what it says on the internet.
Okay.
But he looks pretty fit. He's 48,
Yeah, he's pushing back. You can find pictures of him pushing back against current NFL players. They're he just gets into the practice and they're pushing each other around. They're he's big.
So they're you look too much like a football player. You can't coach.
You can't coach football. We need one of these young.
You can't coach football.
Yeah, he's just very hands-on in practice, as you can see.
That's kind of funny.
So,
man,
that's funny.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, that gets off some of the shitty stuff.
Do you think that who is the biggest coach in the NFL?
Andy Reid.
Is it him?
Andy Reid. He's not a coach in the NFL anymore. Andy Reid. Got to be Andy Reid. He's huge.
But he's not intimidating. Huge.
No, he's a walrus huge. He just kind of got that walrus aesthetic. Well,
is that the Chiefs coach?
Yeah, he's all about them nuggies.
That's what I thought. You said walrus, and I was okay, that makes sense.
He's kind of got a walrus mustache.
He's one of the only not in shape coaches in the NFL. I think most of the other ones are in shape.
What's his name? He's a overweight Jamie Heineman.
Yeah, you got that.
That's good. You never see him without a hat too. It's always a baseball cap, but yeah. No, he kind of looks like he would play a detective in a movie. With that mustache and the glasses, he'd be some kind of overworked detective or something.
Yeah, okay, I can see that.
One of the nice guys.
Yeah.
So, type B.
I do have some other celebrity news.
Perfect. We love that.
This one's got a little bit of local flavor. There was a celebrity in town here, Tuscaloosa, Alabama, today. Don't Google it.
Roll Tide.
I think I know already.
Okay. If you know, then don't.
Is it the boxer again?
Okay.
Dante Wilder? Was it him?
No.
Does he not
much more famous than that?
Okay. Music person.
No.
Male person.
No.
Like a man, not like a
Okay.
No.
I was
the most famous
male person, dude.
Not a music person, not a business person.
I don't think you're gonna guess a category, dude.
Yeah, I would say no, but
athlete.
They're kind of category less.
Athlete.
No.
They're a but they're would my parents know who this celebrity is?
Yeah.
Okay. So my parents would know who this woman is, I'm assuming. Are they over 50?
No.
Are they under 25?
Maybe.
Okay. They don't know.
Around there. Yeah.
I don't actually
Are
know.
they American?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know.
There's 20 questions here.
Yeah, that's so good. They fit in the bread box.
It was Kendall Jenner.
Oh, why the hell was she there?
She went to Innisfree Irish Pub
Oh,
and
sense.
to our favorite bar, the
let's go.
Houndstooth.
Hell yeah.
She went to the Houndstooth, dude.
She was there for bingo
That's
night?
cool.
Like it's Tuesday. Are they watching?
Whenever I hear
Bachelor?
about it, whenever I hear about a celebrity going to Innisfree, I'm like, oh, they're a disappointment.
Yeah.
Innisfree sucks.
Innisfree does kind of stink.
So apparently she's hawking her new tequila brand, which is called 818 Tequila. And so she's giving out like hats and tote bags, and like these bars that she went to had specials on shots. So it was like $2 for a shot of this tequila and like $4 for a margarita using this tequila.
That's safe.
The only thing is she was here at like between like 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. on a Tuesday. And all of the bars she was going to were charging cover and had like 1,000 people outside. And there were like cops all over the street to protect our valuable national resource, the Kardashian Jenners.
There's usually cops on the street.
No, but it was like more than
cops?
that.
Okay, more than usual. Because there's usually like 3 or 4 cops on that street.
No, man, it was like 20 cops on the street, and she's got her own private security force too.
This is such a disappointing story. Not like, I mean, it's entertaining. It's entertaining. I'm glad we're talking about it.
That story
but
was fucking garbage.
Yeah, sorry.
No. At the same time, it's like, damn, I wish things would have went completely different for Kendall Jenner's trip to Tuscaloosa. I don't know.
I really wish she would have had a more fun time. I wish this billionaire would have had a more fun time at our college.
I wish people didn't give a fuck about billionaires. That's what I wish. I wish she would have shown up and then like 3 people would have been there and it would have been hilarious. And she would have been like, well, at least three people know about my tequila brand.
Well, I mean, you
know what I'm saying?
You should be loving an enterprising young woman who pulled herself up from the bootstraps. Like she did.
She sure did that, didn't she?
Yeah, you're right.
Oh my
God.
Right. So the thing I remember most about Kendall, right? Because I had to speak with my girlfriend.
Is she the one who stopped stopped racial violence with Pepsi?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. She was in the Pepsi commercial where she solved discrimination and police violence and things like that. Mm-hmm. Her sister Kylie is the one with the makeup company. Mm-hmm. And then
she's the billionaire.
Yeah, yes, except I think her makeup sucks. Like I think people hate it.
The lip kits or whatever, trash.
My girlfriend Jill is nodding at me as in yes.
Rihanna's the one with the good makeup brand. That shit apparently is the one. Fenty goes crazy. I think that whatever that is. So.
And then Kim is the main one, and then Chloe and Courtney. I don't know.
Yeah, they're there.
They're there. Sure.
Well, yeah. So you know something about you were talking about Kendall Jenner. You're trying to figure out what she was known for or whatever, right?
Oh, I mean that's it. The Pepsi commercial, and then also I think she's the one who's dating somebody who's like a weird match for her.
I know
Bad Bunny.
One of them is dating. I think currently, the most recent thing I heard, one of them is dating the Chalamet. I think Chalamet is dating one of them.
Oh, dude, if Chalamet was here, that would be tight.
And I think I don't know who Kylie's with. I know she had a kid with Travis Scott. I don't know what she's up to now. I don't really go on Instagram. I don't care.
You know what? Every time I see a movie with Timothée Chalamet in it,
like Dean,
I start to realize that he plays the same sort of like whiny bitch character in every movie.
Oh, we've come full circle as a podcast now on Timothée Chalamet.
I love Timothée Chalamet. We should get him on the pod.
I don't know. I'm starting to doubt his capabilities. a little bit. His characters are just like super annoying.
I can't wait for him to be like a very uncharismatic Paul Atreides and Dean too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm supposed to become uncharismatic in that one.
I think
I read the book, but I don't know what happens.
He wasn't very charismatic in the first one. You know, not enough Belange, I think, going on. You know,
right.
He wasn't really doing much. You know, it was mostly the scenery doing all the work, and they killed my boy.
Mostly the worms.
Yeah,
well, you know, I was going to say, you know, what's going to be
doing
doing all the work when I go watch Dune 2.
What is it, Trent?
It's the Dune 2 popcorn bucket. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, for those who haven't seen it, it's imagine those worms, or also imagine like a fleshlight if you've ever heard of one of those, and then also imagine a popcorn bucket. Like that's what it is.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking crazy that made it through testing. You know?
Yeah. So you can Google that. I think we're a little bit that probably came out a month ago or something. I don't know, or maybe we're closer to the news cycle. But I think
Dune comes out at the beginning of March.
Yeah, the movie comes out March 1st, but the bucket is already out, and there's actually we are behind on it. And let me tell you how I know we're behind on it. There was a SNL sketch that came out about the Dune 2 bucket. So we're way behind.
Well, they actually time traveled, listened to our bit, and then went back in time and did it. You know,
that's how SNL stays so funny and so good all the time. Is because they can
time travel,
which means that their jokes are always really good all the time.
Oh, let's go. Florence Pugh is gonna be in this movie. The guy who played Elvis is gonna be in this movie. He's like a Harkonnen. In Dune.
Okay.
I'm
gonna see it.
Princess Irulan or whatever. Yeah, it's gonna be the first movie I see this year, I think. Because I'm not gonna go see Argyle because that looks like shit.
Yeah, I love the actor.
Looks terrible.
Gorgeous. I don't know. Bryce Dallas.
Bryce Dallas Howard from Jurassic World. Lost Kingdom.
I first saw her on Black Mirror. Season 1. Yeah. So
it'll be the first time I see Austin Butler in a movie. I mean,
that's
ugly.
my cousin.
Yeah. Nice.
So, Kendall Jenner is dating Bad Bunny. Kylie Jenner is dating Timothy Chalamet.
Damn.
Man, that sucks.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Timothy got the one with the kid. That stinks. That stinks, dude.
He's in a relationship with a used child.
She got the one with kid, dude. Oh, you don't want to be around kid.
No, to be fair, she's like the only one left. There's only one of them who hasn't had a kid at this point.
Interesting.
Of all of them, from what I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a good accounting of the Kardashian.
Okay. Yeah, Christopher Walken's in this movie. How is Jason Momoa supposed to be in this movie? They killed my boy Duncan Idaho. He's dead.
They'll put him in a flashback.
Because I don't think he starts coming back until like the third one or something.
When he turns into a worm?
Yeah, I don't know. I saw a little. Apparently, Duncan Idaho. Spoilers for what after Dune, whatever's after Dune.
I think there are very few people who will be offended by this.
For like Threen and Forn and Fine.
Threen.
Like apparently they just keep recycling Jason Momoa and one other person. They just keep coming back somehow.
Interesting.
And one of the person just becomes a worm. There's like a worm god who controls the whole galaxy, which is weird.
I think that's what happens to Paul Atreides, is it not? I thought he was supposed to become the worm king.
I think he's like the Kwisatz Haderach or whatever. But like,
of course.
But I think it's one of Paul Atreides' kids who becomes the worm guy. Like he becomes an actual worm.
Yeah.
So Paul Atreides and Zendaya are gonna have a child.
Maybe them. I would assume so. I don't know what Flo's doing. I don't know what Liz Sedou's doing in the movie. There's also his sister. His sister's got a thing going on. I don't know. It's Dune.
But damn, dude. This is like, it sounds like the maybe the back half of the Dune series is really fucking cool, and it sucks that you have to get through like 3 Bible-sized novels.
It's fucking boring ass movie.
What I heard was that the original guy who wrote him, Frank Herbert, was pretty good. And then when he died, his son just kept on writing books, and it kind of got bad again. So I think it's like there's a lot of exposition, and then you get people turning into worms, and then the main guy dies, and then it's just like kind of adventures of worms. The time Paul Atreides turned into a worm.
Happily ever after.
Duncan Idaho facing the worms. Going crazy. Where the Spice Moans at? Well, give me the Kwisatz Haderach. Where the Mentats at? We don't have computers. That wasn't explained at all in the movie, but like there's no computers. We're fighting with AI. That's the whole thing. That's why all this shit's here. But that wasn't explained in Dune 1, Part 1, which could have came out like last year instead of 5 years ago or whatever. Like
my dad told me that actually all the Williams are gods.
My dad told me that the Atreides families is not nearly as good as the Hawkins family. Okay, so you have to move over. Not nearly as cool as these weird slimy slug bastards.
Damn.
So I'm excited for this movie, I guess. Frankly, I'm excited to watch Dune Part 2 so I can watch this video on YouTube by a guy named Alt-Shift-X so he can explain to me what the fuck I just watched. Because, like, he did all this shit for Game of Thrones where he, like, read all the books and, like, would explain the episodes and, like, draw pictures and draw, like, connections to them and do predictions. Then he did the similar thing for Dune Part 1 where he explained Dune Part 1. And now I kind of like Dune a little bit because I watched this YouTube video that was like 45 minutes long. So I'm excited to go see Dune Part 2 so I can go watch this YouTube video and have fun afterwards.
Yeah. So a lot of like HBO shows, which think of themselves as like being very artistic, they oftentimes have their own like discussion podcasts sponsored by HBO that they put out. But I don't know how I feel about like sometimes I listen to podcasts and stuff. Like for Game of Thrones, I listened to a podcast about Game of Thrones. I read the books and stuff. I was big into Thrones. I have a Thrones poster in my bedroom of Jon Snow.
Nice.
So,
yeah,
got
that ton thing going for him.
Rest in peace, Egret. But I don't know how I feel about it. Like the enjoyment comes from this second part, or you have to do the second part to understand it, you know?
Well, it's half the movie. I only saw half the movie before. I saw the boring part of the movie. I'm hoping something happens in the second part. Nothing fucking happens in the whole movie until like the last 10, 15 minutes of it.
Yeah, nothing happens and then everybody dies.
Yeah, nothing happens. Spoiler alert, nothing happens. Everyone dies and then he fucking kills a dude in the desert and then the movie ends.
All I'm saying, Seth, is that they wouldn't make the popcorn bucket into a fleshlight if this movie wasn't going to be good. All right?
Dude, there's going to be
That's all I'm saying, dude.
There's going to be like 5 hours of Dune. Yeah, there's going to be like exactly like 5 hours and 10 minutes of Dune between part 1 and part 2.
Sheesh, that's a lot.
It's a lot. The last one was 2 hours and 36 minutes. This new one's going to be 2 hours and 46 minutes. So that's like 5 hours and 10 minutes of Dune. I'm hoping this second 2.5 hour, 2 3/4 of an hour is good. Like it's exciting because it's boring. It's boring. It looks really good. It looks awesome. Shout out Vinny Delanu did a great job, but like boring.
Just real quick, if you ask me, right, coming into the 2023-2024 season as we now are, what movie was most likely to have a fleshlight popcorn bucket?
Hey, Seth, I would have said Avatar
2. I would not have said Dune.
Yeah, when we get an Avatar 3, I'd rather Avatar 2 is way better than Dune 1. I don't know when Avatar 3 is coming out, but I'd rather watch that shit.
I never saw Avatar 2, but
shout out to the whales, man. They're fucking there. They're fucking
nice.
There. Yeah, coming out in 2025. So next year we get to talk about fucking the Avatar 3 little hair thing, popcorn bucket.
Well, let me talk about something that we should talk about right now because it's coming out in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
And I'm super excited for it. It is the season 2 premiere of Severance on Apple TV. I remember talking about Severance 2 years ago when the season 1 finale happened in like April of 2022. And they finally are releasing the first episode of season 2 on February 18th. I'm super stoked for it. Without giving any spoilers.
Well, I'm going to put a pin in it real quick. Seth, have you seen Severance?
No, but I'm generally aware of what it's about, but I probably will get Apple TV Plus because I want to watch some other stuff on there, but like I'm not going to do it now. I want to have a lot of stuff on there and then get on there and chug through it.
For sure.
but I'm kind of aware of what it's about, and I think it is interesting.
What about people getting fired?
It's cool. What'd you say?
What about people getting fired?
Well, I don't know. Possibly.
You watched the show.
It's about, without giving any spoilers, it's about this like weird office job where all of these people do something that they don't know about, but as part of the job, they have to, I don't know if it's technically called get severed, but pretty much they have this like sort of procedure or something where whenever they go into their job, they have zero memory of their outside life. And whenever they leave their job, they have zero memory of their job life.
I remember you talking about this.
Yeah, and so they end up kind of having like, it's like two separate people, you know? You have your inside job person and your outside life person. And the whole story is kind of centered around the inside job people not having a great time. And
because all they do is work.
Yeah, and trying to get the outside job people to know.
So you think it's like an allegory, or like some kind of
possibly? Do I think it means? Do I think it's supposed to? Do I think it's supposed to portray that job is bad? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Job bad.
Job is bad. I agree.
Job is bad.
But I'm excited for it. It'll be a good time.
Yeah, there's nothing I like to watch more in a show. Like after I'm done with work, I go home and watching a show where people work in the office. That's probably like my favorite thing to do.
Yeah, especially when it's not funny, right?
Yeah.
When it's not like
burning
it's not
it down.
The Office. Yeah.
It's not like It doesn't have Steve Carell in there. It's got the guy from Parks and Rec, but he's not being funny.
Adam Scott. Yeah. Not funny Adam Scott. Yeah.
Not funny Adam Scott. I have some. I
got Randall Park in it. Oh, sorry. Here you go.
Who?
It's got Randall Park. He's the Asian Jim. But you said you go.
Asian Jim. I never really watched The Office, and like, I won't ever because I feel like people quote it too much. This same thing with Rick and Morty. Like, I'm not gonna watch it because I've heard too much about it, and I'm like disinterested because of that. But there are some parts of The Office that like I have seen clips of and that are kind of funny, and I think Asian Jim is funny. Like, I think that's good.
Oh yeah.
I went to the post office the other day.
Ooh.
And I've got two little post office stories I want to leave you with.
Interesting.
So I go to the post office not like super often, but like me and my girlfriend Jill trying to sell some stuff on Poshmark, make a little money. Mm-hmm. Also sometimes just shipping things out and about. I don't know. It was just holiday season, so I go to the post office. I have been in the past couple months, like a fair amount of times. So anyway, I go in there. There's a huge line, and I'm like, ugh. But then I see behind the counter are the two MVPs of the post office. One of them is named Dave. And the other guy, I don't know his name, but he's pretty good. And last time I was at the post office, he talked to me about a Chinese restaurant.
Hang on. For real quick, you said MVPs of the post office?
Yeah, the most valuable postman.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
I
was wondering if you just made that up to be kind of funny or if that's an actual post office term, because I don't go to the post office, bro. It's 2024.
What if you have to ship something?
Yeah, these listed some pretty good reasons why you still have to go to the post office. When you're trying to get a package shipped, you got to go to the post office. You can't like put it in your mailbox and put the little red thing up to ship a package out. That's not gonna work.
Right. Yeah, never mind. I've just never heard MVP of the post office.
So, but sometimes I'll walk into the post office. There'll be a lot of people there. I'm like, I'll just come back later. You know, it's not that big of a deal. If this person on Poshmark gets their thing late, Poshmark won't be happy, but I'll still get the money. Whatever, who cares? But I see it's the MVPs, and I'm like, okay, I'll sit here and wait in this line. So, anyway, I'm in line. There are 5 people in line. Whatever. It's not really that relevant to the story. But this person comes in. And they're not immediately behind me, but they're behind the person behind me. So they're like 2 waiters, attendees, people online away from me. They're holding 2 packages in their hands. I don't know how heavy these things are. It's hard to tell from just looking at it. But anyway, it's kind of a lot to hold 2 packages. So they kneel down to put them on the ground. Okay. Right. It's fine, right? We're waiting in line. No need to like hold the packages. But in order to set these packages on the ground, she doesn't just like bend over and put them on the ground. She like kneels down so that her knees are on the ground.
Psycho move. Postal move. Going postal move.
But then, you know, I'm like, okay, she set down the packages. She doesn't stand back up. She remains on the ground on her knees waiting in this line. And then line...
Because she's going to have to pick up the boxes when the line moves.
The line moves forward. She doesn't stand up. She scoots the packages over and then walks over on her knees.
Goofball.
That's pretty wild.
Maybe she's real pious. The real pious post sending person. With
She's praying over her packages so that they get there safely.
Yeah. That's funny.
The other thing, just real quick, I go up to the front. I'm talking to Dave. I'm like, "What's up, Dave?" I don't actually say that. I just say, "Hey, I got these things, whatever." Because me and Dave, you know, we're familiar, but we're not trying to be buddies at the post office, right? This is a business transaction. He's trying to get me out of there so that I'm out of there, and he's trying to process the line. So it's very efficient, but I know what I'm doing.
He's trying to clear the
respects that. Yeah. So we're getting along. The person next to me, he goes up to the guy who talked to me about the Chinese restaurant. They're going through the typical like sending a package at the post office thing. They're like, here are your different rates, like how fast do you want it to be there, how much do you want to pay? And she's like, the slow one's fine. And he's like, okay, and this next question is going to be about whether there are any liquids or hazardous materials or whatever in there. And she says, oh, well, there are liquids in there. And he's like, oh, because I think that's like a different process he has to do. Maybe they ship it differently. I don't actually know. But anyway, he's like, okay, you can just like click no or whatever on this, like to verify that you have hazardous materials or whatever. And she's like, oh, well, I put it in a bunch of different bags. So it's like a small amount of liquid that's like bagged in a lot of different Ziploc bags placed into this box. And he's like, okay, well, what is it? And she doesn't like exactly come out and say this, but she says it's going to be turned into a ring. And I was like, okay, my ears kind of perk up here. I'm like, it's a liquid that's going to be turned into a ring.
But it's obviously not hot enough to be metal. Unless it's mercury.
No.
Okay.
It's blood.
Okay.
You pull the iron out of it? Like, what are we doing here, lady?
Yeah, my first thought was piss, but then my second thought was probably blood.
Yeah, and so she like starts to kind of tell the story to this guy about how she has this relative who
that's a hazardous material, is it not?
No, it is.
Since like the mid '80s, at least.
Yeah, the 40 years of hazardous material on this lady's crazy.
She's sending blood by mail. And who is she sending it to?
That's pretty wild.
The blood ring fact, the vampires, you know, they're gonna they'll forge of the blood rings.
Yeah, I mean, it's like something from Lord of the Rings. It's spooky. Yeah.
It is pretty wild. I've never heard of blood being turned into a ring.
You're harvesting the iron out of it. Like, do you ever do that experiment where you get your Cheerios wet and you hover a magnet over them and you see the iron come out of it? Doing that shit with
I've heard of that, yeah. But no, this reminds me specifically of another podcast that I listen to sometimes.
Other podcasts don't exist.
Yeah, well, audio only show.
It's a radio show you listen to. Local radio.
Yeah, online. Of a couple of like YouTube guys that I watch a lot of. Anyways, they were talking about how they've had to send stool samples through the mail before. And when you go up to the post office and they're like, can you tell me like what's in here? They're like, I mean, I can, but do I have to? Because it's my shit in a tube. You know, you know what I'm saying? So it could be worse, I guess. Maybe.
Yeah. But also the thing about it, and I'm not a lawyer, I also don't want to be sued.
Allegedly, Minecraft.
They're not allowed to look in your package.
You need consent to look at your package.
Yeah. So you're not supposed to ship a bunch of stuff, but how would they know?
It's probably illegal for you to to lie about that on the form or in the spot there.
It probably is, but again,
well,
right?
yeah,
I'm not a lawyer.
But if it's like little canisters of blood that are in there, and you say, "This is actually really important fine china," then how are they ever going to know?
It's probably I guess if it goes wrong, you know.
Yeah, if they drop it and how much blood comes out of it.
The china. The china's bleeding out of the box right now. What's going on? Oh shit!
Why does the china smell so bad?
It's a weird Chinese stool. I'm telling you, it's crazy.
Oh shit!
So yeah, if you're a lawyer, please contact us. FKAthepod@gmail.com. We're at FKA the Pod on all the various social medias: Instagram, X, Threads, and gmail.com. So we're FKAthepod@gmail.com. Send us an email with legal advice or questions, comments, feedback.
Mm-hmm.
Like and subscribe.
Thank you for listening to the FKA Podcast, and follow us on Twitter at FKA the Pod.